Do you know what? This is just... It's left me rather speechless, so it doesn't surprise me at all. Do you know, I think that's one of the first people when the announcement of lifting the two-child benefit cap came out. I was like, I bet you that this is going to disproportionately benefit people with foreign-born parents. And so I had a little look. I analysed all the data. Well, I didn't. I used AI to scrape the data of official statistics and reports from the OBR and the census and the ONS and all the rest of it. And what it told me is, yes, you're right. The probability is that about 70% of families with more than 2 children have foreign-born parents. And I was, that's typical, isn't it? There I go, working blimmin' hard all my life to basically pay for someone else from another country to come here and have massive families. And it doesn't seem fair. Oh, well, that was until I read this little number here. Because it turns out that the Department for Work and Pensions is actually doling out even more money, get this, to people with second wives and third wives. Yes, all of those people in polygamous marriages, which I thought was supposed to be illegal in this country as bigotry, are getting massive benefits because old Mohammed, or whatever his name is, has decided that one wife won't do. He wants about 12 of them and he wants them all to have 8 kids. That has made me livid. Let's speak now to Benjamin Elks, who's part of Grassroots development at Taxpayers Alliance. Benjamin, hello. This doesn't surprise me, but why on earth? When did this happen? When was this put into law? Because I thought that in other European countries of Muslim populations that they'd sort of said, we don't agree with polygamy, you're not allowed it. Apparently here it's like, yeah, bring your 12,000 wives and all their kids. What are we doing?
Good evening, Alex, and thank you very much for having me on the show. I think, this is one of those sort of historical things that we've had in place where we recognise marriages from other countries, quite rightly. It's hard to make an argument against marriage in the USA being valid, but not being recognised here in the UK. But that's extended to polygamous marriages for people with multiple wives or multiple spouses who have then come to the UK and found themselves in the welfare system. And so now you have this quite absurd situation where British taxpayers are essentially financially supporting a practice that we deem illegal here. This isn't a new rule. It has been going on for some time. It's not something that Labour brought in, but it's high time that this was an end was put to this.
Do we know when this came into being, or has it always been the way? Because I just don't understand. I'm pretty sure if I went and married a man and then married a second man, that would be breaking the law, that I would certainly not be allowed to do that. And actually, if I tried to claim benefits for this husband, that husband, and whatever children might be involved, that someone would turn around and go, listen, mate, you're already claiming bonus for that. What's going on with this family over here?
So you're absolutely right. So in order for this to apply, you have to have been sort of legally living and sort of resident in the foreign country where it is permitted and it is legal, and then all of you have then had to move to the UK in order for this to apply.
So hold on. So you got to you bring your wives plural from that country, or can you move to this country and then go back, get another wife and bring her over, and go back, get another wife and bring her over, and before you know it, you've got the entire village living in the UK because they're all married to the same dude?
I would certainly hope that you can't do that. I believe you have to have been sort of living in the foreign country where it's permitted, had to have had the marriage take place, where you sort of potentially married one person, then subsequently married another, and then moved to the UK.
I just don't understand why we wouldn't say you can't bring more than one wife. I don't get it. And also, by and large, and I don't want to sound like something that's going to upset people on the left, but my understanding is when I look at Muslim countries in particular, polygamy tends to be something that happens among the lower classes in society. Most of the sort of, surgeons and nuclear scientists have Western values and tend to follow Western culture a bit more. So why on earth are we basically saying to potentially the world's poorest, come with your multitude of wives, even though people in this country would be expressly forbidden, banned, it'd be a criminal offence to do that? I just think this is so appalling.
You're absolutely right. It's completely absurd. It's this must be. We must put a stop to this. And quite frankly, we shouldn't be allowing non-British citizens to be claiming welfare in the first place. If we did that, then this wouldn't be an issue for us.
Is there any way we can campaign to make this stop? Because it just isn't okay. In my opinion, this is the thing that's really made me angry than anything else.
Well, I mean, absolutely. We'll be applying as much pressure as we can at the TPA. But I'd suggest sort of your listeners contact your MPs, demand an end to this. It's an anachronistic loophole that just needs to be closed. It won't cost an awful lot to. We are talking about small numbers, but a small number is too many. The Rachel Reeves could close this down in a heartbeat if she wanted to.
She won't want to. She won't want to. They know the tail wags the dog in that party. But seriously, I want to actually know the number of people it does apply to, because I'd be interested statistically to see how many people are in polygamous marriages in the UK. I'd imagine it's a lot more than I would care to estimate.
Well, this is it. I mean, the DWB haven't provided that figure. They simply say that they believe it's a very low number. So, they need to be upfront about this and how many people are receiving this, because it is an affront to British law, essentially. We have these rules in place. We say you cannot do this. It is illegal in this country, and yet we are willing to allow it and subsidise it with taxpayers' money.
Yeah, it's evil. It disgusts me. Benjamin, thank you ever so much. Benjamin Elks there from the Taxpayers Alliance. I'm sure that I bet a lot of you listening are like, what? Seriously? I bet someone actually, threw a projectile at some point, because that is just revolting in my mind. That is absolutely not okay.